all know the feeling of being homesick, especially for Kama'aina being so far away from home.
This Mother's Day, we're kicking off a brand new series called Kama'aina Corner, Hawaii and Beyond. To get things started, we're joined by the one and only Kupuna who knows me best, my mom.
Oh, Kupuna status
Yes,
now.
Kupuna status.
Hi, Auntie. All right, so we're going to talk about how to stay connected to loved ones back in Hawaii and how to embrace the Aloha spirit wherever you are. We're going to share some tips, some laughs, maybe even shishi our pants a little bit, and, and share even some tears.
So grab your pineapple, upside down and all, settle in, and get ready to feel the warm embrace of Hawaii even from a distance. Hi, Mom! Welcome!
Auntie.
Hi.
She's like my mom, too. She's my Hanai mom. Hi, Mom!
Yes.
Okay, so Auntie, give us a little background. Tell us about the backstory about you living in Hawaii.
Well, of course, I was born and raised in Hawaii and grew up in a large family in the plantation village of Pauwilo. Well, we called it Plantation Camp. So I grew up in Pauwilo, had 3 brothers and 2 sisters. So my dad worked for the sugar plantation as long as I can remember till he retired. And we grew up poor, but I didn't know we were poor because we were happy and content. We had, the garden in the back of the house. We had raised pigs, chickens, rabbits, just all kinds of fruits and vegetables. And so we ate off the land, and my dad hunted and fished. So,
I think, Mom, I want to go back to that because a lot of people think that moving to Hawaii, like when they look at moving to Hawaii, it's so expensive and the food is expensive and all of that. How did we live when we didn't make like a lot of money?
So living on the plantation, wasn't easy. It was a lot of hard work. But we worked hard and we played hard. We didn't have the video games like they have today, so we did a lot of outdoor fun stuff. We could leave the house in the morning and not come home all day because we could, go pick fruits at people's homes who had fruit trees or whatever, and we'd eat, or we'd go even into the gulches and we'd find bananas and avocados and guavas, guaivi. So we ate a lot of gulch food, which was, I think it was like really organic food. We didn't have to go home to go have lunch because we had lunch outdoors just wherever. My dad didn't make a lot of money at all. At all. But the plantation provided for us. They gave us cheap housing. I remember when I was in high school, I think our rent was like $32 or something, and we paid $1 a month for water. But food, like today, is crazy and outrageous cost of food. Back in the day, it wasn't, because we hunted and we fished, and still some of the local people still do that. They know how to survive, from what we've learned from our past, where we had all our fruits and vegetables, we hunted, we fished. And if we, we didn't have cows, it was the ranchers up on the mountainside or in Waimea who would have, beef, cattle. So, but luckily we had family friends that we used to go and visit. It was a Ramus family up in the mountain, and they would give us beef too. So, and my dad, when he fished, he would bring them fish. So it was kind of like you did a lot of bartering.
Yeah. I was gonna say that and ask you about that. You hear stories all the time about the bartering, and you don't see. You see that still today a little bit, but back then it was almost necessary. That to barter with each other.
Because what we grew in the garden, I remember growing a lot of peanuts. That's why I love boiled peanuts.
Oh, wow.
Because we would harvest the peanuts, wash it off, and then boil it. And that was kind of like our popcorn for watching TV. And what we had a lot of, we shared. And what we didn't have, other people shared with us. So we bartered a lot.
How, when, and why did you move away from Hawaii?
My daughter, you, I remember you telling me, Mom, I'm never going to move back to Hawaii to live. So then that started me thinking. God had a plan, so he expedited us moving up there because of my mother-in-law. And we sold everything, moved up here to Roanoke first, and then bought property in Vinton, and then we built. My husband's family is from here, so it's easy for him. It wasn't quite easy for us because we had to get acclimated to seasons, and it was like, whoa, okay, I'm coming up here in December and I'm going to be hit with snow.
Well, I want to bring that up because your body was so used to living in the climate of Hawaii,
Yeah.
and your whole life, right, was just there. You've never lived anywhere else but Hawaii, right? So coming to
So
some
it,
place where there was different seasons and things changing, your body had to like adjust, and even Michaela.
oh yeah, Michaela, I mean, when we first got here, she was getting a bloody nose. First time, yeah, I got scared, and it was because something about the
The dry
dry
air.
air and something. So we had to go buy a humidifier and stuff for her room.
Hmm.
It's different, in Hawaii you have all the windows open. Over here it was everything all closed, and you run a central air, which I like because when it's hot you just run the air condition, and in Hawaii the air condition is open the window and let the breeze
Yeah.
blow in.
Open the door.
Turn
Yeah.
on your turn on your fans.
Yeah, and it was, so it's but we got used to that, so
So
it's
you
it's okay.
adjusted. How did you adjust
Yeah.
to the culture change and like just the communicating with people and all of that?
Well, that was the adjustment because it was, it's the interactions. I got to be open minded with all the interactions here and the willingness to learn because coming here, I mean, I I look like I'm Spanish, so everybody's, trying to speak to me in Spanish, which is, I wish I had learned Spanish, but I didn't. But I'm not Spanish, so I said, sorry, I'm from Hawaii. I don't. But once you say you're from Hawaii, everybody go, whoa, you're from Hawaii. Oh my God, why did you move from paradise?
That's the big question. Why did you move? Yeah, everybody asked that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of getting used to. I'm so lucky that I have neighbors across the street that love us
Yeah.
and we love them,
Well, and that's the
and
thing. So if you could give advice to somebody that's feeling that right now, that discrimination or that feeling like people are looking down on them, like how do they deal with that?
yeah, so I guess, when somebody was trying to talk real rude to me or whatever, and, I was like, first, of course, the first thing you like fight back, right? But what I did was, I apologized if I did anything wrong. And I was just trying to show them what aloha was without saying, hey, brah, I'm showing you what aloha is. So kind of try respect me, eh? You know, but what I did was just kind of try to give him that. And then it kind of helps turn them around, but lashing back at them doesn't help. I figured that out. Um, I kind of had that, I was going to lash out at some people sometimes, but then I thought, hey, I just got to humble myself. I'm in their culture now, and maybe I can share some of my culture to get them to be more compassionate.
And I think that's what it's all about is living that aloha or showing people how to live aloha wherever you are. Like even when you're faced with people who are, you know, coming at you aggressively or looking down on you or whatever it is, just, staying in that aloha spirit and showing them that, So this is, I always worry about Sid. Like if Sid ever moves away from Hawaii and is faced with people like that.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say it's really hard, and yeah, I tend to just kind of come out, and the tita comes out, and I think more so not because I'm disrespectful, but because I want to keep aloha sacred, and I want to defend the aloha spirit and what aloha means to me and you and just us in Hawaii. So I think when people come at me like that, or they look at me weird, or because me too, right? I mean, I am Spanish, but everybody thinks I'm Mexican. So it, like when we went to Texas, right? We go Texas every spring break. I mean, everybody would, no matter what store I went to, people were talking. And I can understand a little bit because my grandmother was pure Spanish, but yeah, I had to kind of say to, no hablo español, and I'm from Hawaii, and like you said, Auntie, of course, as soon as you say Hawaii, everybody's like, oh my gosh, how's the weather there? It must be so sunny. But I can be nice too. I do be nice. I try to humble myself, but I think more so for me, it's defending the aloha spirit. And if I feel like you had disrespected that, that's when I sort of come out. Yeah, sometimes not so very nice, but I can be so sweet. I can.
It's just kind of cultural misunderstandings,
Yeah, yeah. Thinking back to one of our, local shirts that we have, don't mistake my aloha for weakness. And I think that's what I was trying to say, where like I feel like I need to defend the aloha spirit is when they do take it for weakness, or you're beneath them, or like you just said earlier about that. So
like Hawaii is such a melting pot, right?
exactly,
Because
yeah,
it's not just the people who are Hawaiian, which they of native blood, but there are a lot of Kama'aina, which I'm considered Kama'aina because born and raised there, but my ancestors came from the Philippines and Portugal. A lot of people came from Japan, a lot of, China, just all different places throughout the world to come and work on the sugar plantation. But we had that cultural influence from the Hawaiian people, and the Hawaiian people, they were the one teaching us how they lived off the land, because they were there, and they basically had a good teaching for us. But we're of that's why they call it the melting pot. A lot of mixed nationalities. So when I came to Virginia, a lot of white people, but I found a lot of Filipino people and a lot of Asian. Well, Filipinos are Asian too, but I found a big Asian community here, which I felt that's where I felt at home. When I looked for a healthcare provider, I went searching for a Filipino doctor because I just needed, when I
Connection,
first came, I needed some type of connection to
culture.
the people back home and that culture, I grew up in.
I mean, how do you stay connected to your roots and get through days where you feel homesick? And even something like you just said, looking for a Filipino doctor, just to kind of
Yeah, and I found one, and
connected. Yeah.
I know Dr. Yavori is great. They're a Filipino a club, an association, and they have gatherings and stuff. But I went to him because I would feel comfortable and connected. And I think the bonus was asking him, where you get your stuff for make
Yeah.
Filipino food? So he would tell me what Asian markets to go to get, so I could make pinakbet, whatever. But yeah, so it was just getting connected, feeling grounded, feeling safe. The thing is, I stayed connected with people back home, whether it was FaceTiming and my family and,
Food. The
you know,
food makes you feel
food.
connected.
Oh my God. Yeah, the food. So Rochelle several times found the kalo leaves, taro leaves up in
New York.
New York and brought down so I could try make lau lau. It's the only thing we don't have up here to make a good lau lau is the tea leaves.
To wrap it.
Yeah, everything else can. So I bought banana leaves to see if that would, maybe the next time I try make with banana leaves and see if that would work. People use foil. I don't like to use foil, but I may have to. But I've made lau laus without the foil and just kind of wrap the thing in the pressure cooker and wrap the leaves and put it in the pressure cooker. And just hope the pressure cooker no explode, But we did that. I think that was Shell. Remember when we tried to open the thing for the pressure cooker? It was like, oh my God. And we were like, it was, because I never used a pressure cooker till I got up here.
Oh, yeah. You got to let it simmer down first.
In order to make it up here, I had to learn how to cook because at home I could, go to people's homes and eat, or my sister Donna would be cooking, because I was always out working and stuff, and so a lot of times I would go and buy some meals already made and stuff, and just. Anytime you like lau lau, lomi salmon, poke, raw fish, oh my God, that is the most I miss. But, and opihi, so you just ate well back home. But coming here, if you want to eat like you eat in Hawaii, you got to learn how to cook.
Yeah.
That, or you really got to look for substitutes, but the substitutes got to be like really, really close to the original thing, or else that's not going to work either. But the other thing too is, like when you come home, right, you stock up on some things and you take back
Yes.
with you. So like the lau lau or the smoked meat, the frozen kalua sausage, and I know that.
Well, when I came back the last time, I brought 2 huge coolers full of all that stuff you said, and just freeze it. And then it made it home frozen.
Good. Yeah.
But I took it as luggage. But I bring it home. I have it. I bought another freezer for downstairs here so that we could stock up. Portuguese sauce. Portuguese sausage, lau lau, everything you mentioned, I brought home. And the only thing I wish I had brought home was at Holy's Bakery pie.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm hoping that I can get some Holy Bakery pie on the next trip.
Or if you go to Vegas, I heard they have a place in Vegas that they've been doing it now too.
Really?
Yeah.
They
So that's
opened.
another thing. Yeah. And getting the seeds,
Yeah, the snacks, all that
seeds.
snacks.
So I stock up. I have a lot of Hawaiian goodies, and I like to bring back cookies and stuff to give to my doctor and my dentist office. And, I love to share some of the Hawaiian goodies, to people who are real nice to us and treat us really well. And that I show them appreciation, that I do appreciate their kindness to us,
No, I was just going to say, and especially bringing things right from your hometown, right? Like Donna's Cookies, which is right in Pauilo. And that is one of I'm big on candies too, but like when we went, like Auntie Bridget wanted Donna's Cookies, Auntie Taryn wanted Donna's Cookies, So whenever I go too, I have a suitcase filled with just a little bread, all different kind of snacks I bring up to share with our local people who were here who have moved away, just so that they can experience a little bit of home too.
Yeah.
So would you say that when you start feeling homesick or when you start missing family and all that stuff, like what do? You incorporate some of the foods, you make your calls, you FaceTime with people.
Yeah, and if you see in the back of me, I decorate with all my Hawaiian stuff.
That's
I love that. That's so pretty.
I love Hawaii, and I wanted to decorate so that I could feel at home. So like, let me just turn this here. And this is my Ohana wall. It
Oh,
says
that is
Ohana.
nice. My picture better be in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Well, you are,
I'm
because
just
the wedding picture too, yeah, is
okay.
on Rochelle's one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So
just checking.
I gotta do, yeah, what I need to do is put in the one from Texas. You know, the one of you, Jay, and Shell, the one on the counter.
Oh
I
yeah,
like
yeah,
that
yeah,
one.
yeah.
So, yeah, and you cannot forget my
Hey,
Waipio sign.
Waipio
Oh, Eddie.
Valley.
And it's kind of, actually, it is going that way. It's, I'm here on the top on the East Coast, and Waipio is way the hell on the other side, but, oh, I got to show you guys this, wait, real quick, because he gave me this sign to put up in the living room, and it says,
Oh wow.
can you see what it says?
Yes, Hawaii Island Pa'awilo.
Pawilo Camp.
Wow.
Isn't that cool? So yeah, I love stuff like that, because that that brings me peace.
What kind of things do you enjoy though about the mainland that's different from Hawaii? So what are the pros? I know we talked a lot about the cons, but what are some of the pros of you living where you are?
Mikella is closer to you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the thing I love the most, is knowing that I'm close to my daughter and my grandchildren, and soon to be a great grandson.
But like,
So,
okay, so I see another pro as like being able, like you just said, to travel to different states for like concerts and like it's right there, it's
oh
close
yeah,
by.
yeah. So we get to go, and Michaela loves going to the concerts, hockey game, just a football, NFL game, things that we really cannot really just do in Hawaii, but so we get to enjoy those things that we couldn't before in Hawaii, or you could, but you had to pay for an airline ticket to wherever the concert was, hotel, rental car. Here we can drive. That's the thing about in the mainland. You're able to drive from state to state. So
And then
that's the difference.
the cost of living and gas and groceries, like what are you finding it a little bit
Yeah,
easier?
yeah. It's gas right now here is like 3.19, but when I first came, it was $1.79 a gallon.
And that was during COVID. You came during like 2020, right? The end of
Yeah, I
2020.
came in December 2020. Yeah, a lot of things, like even just a tangerine tree in my front yard, and star fruit in the back, and bananas, and just whatever, pineapples growing in the front yard. A lot of things we took for granted here. In Hawaii, you could go outside and go pick a pineapple or go pick tangerines and make a fruit salad for breakfast. You could go outside, you get it from your yard, but and bananas, and it was just, so those things, until you don't have it, then you realize how lucky.
The cost of housing is the biggest, I think, thing,
Oh,
right? That is a difference about living in Hawaii versus the mainland.
yeah, I could never afford to build in Hawaii now. You know, never afford to build in Hawaii, even on the Big Island, even in Puna. Puna was the cheapest place, and now it's like, it's crazy.
We're doubling up again, right? It's like families living with families again because nobody can really afford on their own. The rents are just crazy, especially in Honoka'a too. And then you have people like, you hear the stories on Oahu where last month, a lady set her house on fire because she was being evicted. And then just 2 nights ago, a man barricaded himself, in his apartment because the sheriff was coming to serve him with eviction notice. And it's so sad. It is so sad. I do not know how people are gonna make it, and that will probably lead us into another session, Shell, where that's one reason why people are leaving Hawaii. Next time, I'm gonna have a nicer background, and I'm going to start off with, saying what I'm wearing and what I'm eating.
Oh yeah,
You
because
could dance
I'm
hula
wearing
for us.
I could dance hula one session, no problem.
yeah.
What do you?
I'm wearing a vahine toa top, and Sydney, you're wearing a vahine toa top
That
too.
I
Yeah.
am. Yes, I am. And my
Yeah.
pearls, I got them as gifts. So I don't know who made them, but
Yeah.
they're
Oh,
made
and
for
I
me
have
from here.
Niihau shells. They don't know
Ooh,
what this is out here, Niihau shells.
so
They don't
precious.
realize how expensive this
It
is.
is.
I can wear this out and nobody appreciates it but me. But Niihau shells are
Very pretty.
very very expensive and very pretty, and comes from the island of Niihau, and just so precious.
It is.
This
That's
this
nice,
is what
Auntie.
grounds me too. I dress in my Hawaiian clothes, with my Hawaiian jewelry.
Also, in the description below, we talked about how to stay connected with food. I'm putting the link to a recipe video that I made with my mom. We made lau lau and pancit, I think, in this video.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's one of the ways that we stay connected is we cook the
You gotta
food.
watch it, especially when we're trying to open the pressure cooker. It was like, whoa. We didn't have an emu to put the lau lau inside or kalua pig or whatever. We had a pressure cooker.
And
So it's improvised.
Sonny was in that video too. He was our taste tester for our pancit.
Oh, yeah.
So that was
Yeah.
good. But yeah, check that out down in the description below. Okay, guys, if you want to follow us, we're going to have more conversations about this topic. Like, subscribe, share all of this content so that you can help us get the word out about how we share our aloha everywhere we go, what kinds of tips we have for people who are moving away from Hawaii, or for Kama'aina still living in Hawaii and still having that struggle. Thank you for joining us for our Mother's Day
Thanks, Auntie.
special.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you next time, guys. Aloha.
See you next time.
Aloha. I'm going to do the double
Aloha.
shaka because this is for Dr. Kimo Alameda. For
Um,
Bear.
okay.